Identification verification. Tonight, public schools to soon require ID cards so only approved people can step onto campus. The education minister says a drop in school violence is just not enough. We've got the latest from today's parliamentary debate on the upcoming budget. And a war of words between the PLP and a fiery union chief escalates. The party's chairman says, "Who are you talking to?" The union chief fires back with, "Come outside to find out." We'll tell you the Labor Day flyer behind the spat. Despite the verbal tussle, East Street expected to be jam-packed tomorrow, but the police commissioner warns of zero tolerance. Strict policing and tight security set to keep this Labor Day march in check. Then in our news at 7:30, union leaders applaud the wage hike announced in Parliament, yet they say they're unhappy, claiming they weren't even invited to the discussion. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. Even with a 20% drop in school violence, the Ministry of Education isn't taking any chances. The minister told Parliament today that all public schools will soon require ID cards as only authorized people will get in. Bethany McDermott has the story.
The government is working to significantly increase security and controls at public schools across the Bahamas, according to Education Minister Glenys Hannah-Martin. While contributing to the 2025-2026 budget debate, Hannah-Martin said the ministry will introduce sterile zones at public schools to ensure only individuals authorized to enter that school compound will be allowed access.
The ministry has begun installing electronic arms at school entrances to control access to school campuses. We are also in discussions, and I think there's a meeting today, with DIT, the Department of Information and Technology, to implement a unique student identification card system so that only authorized students can access their respective school campuses.
Those IDs, according to Hannah-Martin, will also contain critical information on each student.
The ministry must send a strong signal of zero tolerance and that school campuses must be safe zones.
Hannah-Martin says students found in violation of these rules could face suspension to suspension centers or be placed in the juvenile justice system. She also stressed the importance of collaboration with parents. She says often parents have a hard time believing their children are engaged in bad behavior. She also revealed a nearly 20% drop in school incidents last year.
Last year, the research showed they reduced by 17%. And the data for this current academic year is being collated. Although as we approach the last days of the school year, we have seen notable reduction in campus disruptions, including fights and other incidents.
Reporting for our news, I'm Bethany McDermott.
And tonight, the fallout over a Labor Day flyer continues, with Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson firing back at Progressive Liberal Party Chairman Fred Mitchell after she says her photo was used without her permission. Wilson later demanded its removal in a viral voice note. Mitchell, without naming her, shot back, saying, "Who are you talking to?" That prompting Wilson to challenge him to come outside for answers.
Well, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Member of Parliament for Fox Hill, I was talking to you as the chairman. I was talking to the Honorable Prime Minister as the leader of the PLP, and I was talking to whomever was the architect of the flyer. And I said it in a voice note, and I will say it again. Take it down, get it down, take it off now. And I want to thank you all for taking it off. But let me also say to you, sir, stop taking cheap shots at good citizens like Belinda Wilson in the House of Assembly where you have privilege. Bring it outside.
Meanwhile, police say they'll be pulling out all the stops to ensure a safe Randolph Fox Labor Day parade this year. Tomorrow, thousands of unionists and residents will march down East Street to Rawson Square, celebrating the importance of having a strong workforce. Police Commissioner Shannon Old says, come out and enjoy the day, but just know security will be strictly enforced.
We have prepared our nominal road, our list of officers who will be working that. We have a large contingent of officers who will work the entire parade. We're looking for a safe parade for everyone, those who will be walking the parade and those who will be watching the parade. At this present moment, a team of officers are meeting with persons who are going to be a part of the parade. so that we can get the public involved in creating safety for all of us.
And over the years, she says the parade has been relatively free from troublemakers, but the commissioner still with this stern warning.
So I want you to know that the police will be out. This is something that's been happening for many, many years. Go out and watch the Labor Day parade. It's always exciting. And so please go out and watch the parade, but be on your best behavior, because I have a team of officers who will be on the ground.
All right, a man is accused of using his vehicle as a dangerous instrument when he allegedly rammed a man at an ATM drive-thru. Garvin Smith is accused of jumping the line at Commonwealth Bank's drive-thru on May 31st. That's when police say Delano Carey, who was next in line, got out of his car and went to the ATM. Prosecutors say Smith pinned Carey to the wall with his van. Magistrate Anishka Isaac sent Smith's bail at $3,000. He is expected back in court on September 23rd for trial. All right, we've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Happy Thursday, Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Kenny, and a happy Thursday evening, everybody. Warm, humid, and hazy conditions on the outside. Temperatures in the mid-80s. 84 is our current temperature with under partly cloudy skies. East winds, 50 miles per hour. Your feels like temperature is at 86. Temperatures around the islands right now. It's 84 in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Alistown, Bimini, Great Harbor Key here in the capital. Also in Nickel, San Andros, Marshall, Barbacoa, and Governor's Harbour, 83. Central Bahamas, 84 in Kemps Bay, 83. Black Point, we pick up 82s, Georgetown, Arthurstown, Cat Island, Coburn Townsend, Salvador, and in Port Nelson, Rum Key. Deadman's Key, 83, and into the southeast Bahamas. 83, Duncantown, Ragged Island, more 82s popping up in Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable Bay, Abrahams Bay. Providenciales, Turks and Caicos Islands, 84, and Inagua, Deep South, also 84 at this hour. Satellite radar composite, this is the setup right now. That upper level disturbance is well to the north of us, but we still have some trailing moisture across the northwest Bahamas, mostly in the form of some mid to upper level clouds, not much producing any rainfall. We do have a couple of spotty showers just to the south of Bimini. Most of the activity will be waning as the evening goes on. Most of that cloud mass and the moisture will pull out. Hazy conditions will continue with us through tomorrow, so if you plan on being on the outdoors tomorrow, make sure you take the necessary precautions to protect yourself from the haze and the heat. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, another lopsided loss on the road for Team Bahamas at the FIFA 2026 World Cup qualifiers. This is not a fun group.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
When Team Bahamas took on the region at the 2025 Carifta Aquatics and Athletics Championships in Trinidad and Tobago, we were there. When the country's stars of tomorrow announced their arrival to the world. Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. The senior men's national team was back on the pitch in the latest round of the FIFA World Cup 2026 qualifiers. Grenada overwhelmed the Bahamas 6-0 in the CONCACAF second round of qualifiers last night at the Karani James National Stadium in St. George's, Grenada. The home side dominated time of possession at 74% and registered 13 shots on goal compared to just 2 for the Bahamas.
The Bahamas Baseball Association is preparing to host the first phase in the annual celebration of the sport and a local legend. The Andre Rogers Senior National Championships will be hosted June 6th to 9th in honor of Fred Papa Smith, The event will feature 4 teams in the 23 and under and 6 teams in the 16 and under divisions vying for the national title at the Blue Hills Complex and the National Stadium. The under 23 teams will play 3 group games and the under 16 teams will play 5 in the round robin format. Medal games in both divisions will be played on Sunday. The Community Baseball League are the defending champions in the under 23 and the Junior Baseball League of Nassau are the under 16 defending champions. Other participating leagues include the Freedom Farm Baseball League, Ed and Bristol Baseball League, Grand Bahama Little League, Legacy Baseball League, and the Abaco Youth Baseball League. Smith is a revered figure in Bahamian baseball, celebrated for his significant contributions as a player, coach, and mentor. In 1968, he signed with the Cleveland Guardians organization, reaching as high as AAA.
And because it's a holiday weekend, your early edition of Top Plays. That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as the United States bars entry from 12 countries over security concerns. Plus, a witness alleges Diddy dangled her off a 17th floor balcony in an explosive testimony in his ongoing racketeering and sex trafficking trial. And Boeing to pay $1.1 billion over recent 737 MAX crashes. Families crying foul when Our News returns.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
When Team Bahamas took on the region at the 2025 Carifta Aquatics and Athletics Championships in Trinidad and Tobago, we were there. When the country's stars of tomorrow announced their arrival to the world. When champions rose, records fell, and history was made, we were there. Cable Bahamas, RTV, experience more.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Starting Monday, the United States will bar nationals from 12 countries, including Haiti, Cuba, and Venezuela, from entering. President Donald Trump cited terrorism and security threats as the reason behind the move. Ryan Chang has the story.
U.S. President Donald Trump has signed a travel ban on nationals of 12 countries, barring them from entering the United States. He said the executive order he signed Wednesday was needed to protect against what he called foreign terrorists and other security threats. In a video posted to X, he specifically mentioned Sunday's attack in Colorado that targeted a pro-Israel march.
The recent terror attack in Boulder, Colorado, has underscored the extreme dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here as temporary visitors and overstay their visas.
Egypt is not on the list of countries facing travel limits, even though the suspect in the Boulder firebomb attack was an Egyptian national. However, Trump said the list could be revised and new countries could be added. Starting June 9th, there will be a total ban on nationals from Afghanistan, Yemen, and Iran in the Middle East, Myanmar and Haiti, and those from 7 African nations such as Somalia, Sudan, and Libya. Meanwhile, there will be partial restrictions on people from 7 other countries. In that list, there's Cuba, Laos, Venezuela, and Sierra Leone. These all echo an entry ban Trump imposed at the start of his first term on several mainly Muslim countries. That ban was repealed by the Biden administration later on. Then, in a campaign speech in October 2023, Trump previewed a plan to restrict people from Gaza, Libya, Somalia, and other places.
If you're coming from somewhere full of people who want to kill Americans, we will not let you in.
Wednesday's new bans are part of a broader immigration crackdown since the start of Trump's second term. In January 2025, he issued an executive order beefing up security vetting of foreigners seeking admission to the U.S. to root out national security threats. That order directed several cabinet members to give a list of countries to suspend travel from because their, quote, vetting and screening information is so deficient. In response to Trump's order Wednesday, Venezuela's Minister of Interior, Justice and Peace, Diosdado Cabello, called the U.S. government fascist on state TV.
Honestly, being in the US is a big risk for anyone, not just Venezuelans. If you're really that foolish, then go to the United States.
Somalia immediately pledged to work with Washington to address security issues, according to a statement from its ambassador to the U.S.
And former graphic designer Brianna Bongalon testified in federal court that Sean Diddy Combs once dangled her off a 17th-floor balcony and hurled a knife at Cassandra Ventura, also known as Cassie, in 2016. Prosecutors showed photos of her bruises to back her claims, and she described lasting trauma. Under cross-examination, Combs' lawyers challenged her memory, noting inconsistencies with earlier statements. Combs, who has pleaded not guilty, faces racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking charges. Boeing has agreed to pay $1.1 billion to settle U.S. Justice Department charges over 2 fatal 737 MAX crashes that killed 346 people, avoiding a criminal fraud trial. The package includes a $487.2 million criminal penalty, half already paid, and $444.5 million to victim families. Boeing will also invest $455 million to improve safety and compliance programs. But family's lawyer, Sanjeev Singh, called the deal morally repugnant, saying it lets Boeing sidestep true criminal accountability. In 2021, Boeing admitted to hiding crucial flight control flaws. Relatives can still appeal, though, when a federal judge reviews the agreement, but if approved, the DOJ will drop further prosecution. Victims' advocates say the payout falls far short of justice. And officials in Trinidad and Tobago say the hold on student visas, or students applying for new U.S. visas, is just a short operational pause and not a policy change. The Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs said this week that it is in direct contact with U.S. authorities who confirmed the recent move by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio does not signify a change in the policy toward Trinidad and Tobago. The ministry says as it monitors developments, students should watch official channels for updates and not panic. Well, in celebration of World Environment Day, Joshua Williams takes a trip to the southern Bahamas to find out more about how the national bird has gone from near extinction to a healthy population.
Bahamas first, putting sustainability first for our people and our environment. What's first for you and the planet comes first for us.
They're known for their vibrant pink color, distinctively long necks, and graceful movements. The history of the Caribbean flamingo is one filled with an incredible and encouraging story of environmental conservation and partnerships that's reaping major wins for the national bird. But it wasn't always this way. Experts say back in the 1950s, there were fewer than 5,000 birds, all of them on one island. The flamingo population dwindled for several reasons, including hunting. A U.S. group noticed the decline in flamingos across the region Foundation and created the Society for the Protection of Flamingos. Today, there are millions globally, more than 50,000 of them in the Bahamas. Now, there are flamingos on Acklins and Crooked Island, Mayaguana, Andros, and Long Island. Senior Park Warden at the Inagua National Park, Randolph Burrows, said the island is the perfect home for the majestic birds.
Because the birds were protected here, the birds that used to be on that islands, I guess they found out that Inagua was a safe haven, big lake, plenty food.
Flamingos have also been linked to the successful salt industry on the island.
Morton utilizes a portion of Lake Rosa where they continually pump seawater in, and that's where most of the birds spend most of the year, on the Morton Reservoir system feeding.
But how do they spend their days living in paradise? Pretty much carefree. But Burrows says there are threats.
We've had occurrences in the past where the wild hogs came into the rookeries and, just wiped them out, ate up all the eggs.
Warden Burrows says while he enjoys time with his birds in the southern islands, he wants to share the experience with others.
We just need the people to come down and enjoy it, That's it. Plain and simple. We got what they need.
Reporting for Our News and reminding you to put sustainability first, I'm Joshua Williams.
Still to come in Our News, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was June 5th. Then in Our News at 7:30, a police constable convicted for soliciting sex while on duty. This after a jury found he lied about a warrant and demanded sex from a woman at a Yamacraw beach. We'll tell you when he's next in court. And City in Focus, back tonight with GBPA urging homeowners and businesses to rebuild smarter and stronger, and why having insurance is also key. When Our News returns.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
When Team Bahamas took on the region at the 2025 Carifta Aquatics and Athletics Championships in Trinidad and Tobago, we were there. When the country's stars of tomorrow announced their arrival to the world. When champions
This day in Bahamian history in 2012, then Free National Movement Chairman Charles Maynard made headlines after his interview on Cable 12's Political View with Jeff Lloyd, in which he said the party would court former F&M members, including then DNA leader Branville McCartney. McCartney had split from the party prior to the 2012 general elections, in which his new party secured some 11,000 votes.
I started the program by saying that we are going to reach out to all former F&Ms and ask them to come home, and Mr. McCartney is no different from the rest. We are definitely going to reach out our hand to him and say, Mr. McCartney, you and F&M. You always said that your first link in politics was looking at the F&M and being an F&M and being involved in the F&M. Whatever reasons there were that caused you to do otherwise, look at it again and see if it makes sense for you to be at home where you belong rather than out there trying to keep a fledgling party going. Because
then in 2013, the country learned of the United States' intention to deport about a dozen criminals of Bahamian descent, putting national security officials on alert as they maintained that criminal deportees were significantly contributing to the country's country's current crime wave. At the time, officials reported more than 1,000 convicted criminals were deported from the U.S. to the Bahamas since 2002. Then Prime Minister Perry Christie said he had reached out to the U.S. for support if the deportations were to continue.
These people who are exposed to criminal practices, they come home. They obviously, some of them don't even know about the Bahamas because they left as a child. But because the Americans have this policy, they have to come here, and we cannot resist their coming here.
And finally, on this day in 2022, was the tragic end to what was dubbed the return of Long Island Regatta, after a plane carrying 7 people, including the pilot, crashed shortly after takeoff from the Deadman's Key Airport. 22-year-old Alethea Newbold, the mother of a 6-month-old girl, died. All right, if you want to watch that historical recap again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. That's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now is Italia Hall. It's got the latest headlines. Happy Thursday,
Happy
Italia.
Thursday, and it's safe to say we can call this hour, well, you can, not me, but TGIF.
Hey. You know what? Now that you say that, last week when I told Craig Happy Thursday or Happy Friday on Thursday, that would have been more appropriate this week, right?
Yes, it's a long holiday weekend.
Sure.
So I hope you get some rest.
So wait, what are you going to do for the holiday?
I will be working, Ken.
Okay.
I will be working.
Wait.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Well, coming up, the Nurses Association hosting a panel discussion in Freeport. Here are your latest headlines.
First tonight on Our News at 7:30.
The Prime Minister announcing in the budget debate that a salary increase is coming for all public service workers. Unionists say while they're on board with it, they had no idea this would happen.
Also, former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis weighs in on the controversy surrounding political parties joining the Sir Randall Fox Labor Day parade. Hear what he says Sir Randall's family told him. Plus, the Supreme Court jury convicts a constable of using his authority to demand sex from a woman. We have details from inside the courtroom. And later, with scars of past storms still visible, the Grand Bahama Port Authority is pushing for action. See how they're encouraging preparation when Our News at 7:30 continues.
When Team Bahamas took on the region at the 2025 Carifta Aquatics and Athletics Championships in Trinidad and Tobago, we were there. When the country's stars of tomorrow announced their arrival to the world. When champions rose, records fell, and history was made, we were there. Cable Bahamas, RTV, experience more.
Inti Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucayas solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. Inti is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as Inti Corporation shines brighter than ever. Inti Corporation, powering your world, powering your future.
At Struckham, we're all about peace of mind. With the latest tools and technology like PestPack, managing pest control just got easier. It's simple. Log on to the portal to review past services or monitor trends. Just tap Service Reports to access detailed records and see how we're keeping your business pest-free. You can even customize permissions so your teams in maintenance and health and safety have real-time access to everything they need. With PestPack, you're in control, anytime, anywhere. Get ready to simplify pest management with just a few taps.
Welcome to Paradise Games, where exceptional service meets the ultimate gaming experience. Our dedicated team is here to make every visit a win.
Now this is paradise.
This is more than just a place to play.
Now this is paradise.
It's where excitement meets world-class service.
Now this is paradise.
Now this is paradise.
Come, experience it for yourself. Now this is paradise.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. While union leaders are praising a salary increase for public workers, they say they were not brought to the table to discuss salary hikes that were announced by the Prime Minister in Parliament yesterday. Our Joshua Williams spoke with several of them today and has their reactions in this report.
I was not involved. I knew nothing about it.
And I did not hear from other union leaders. I heard within the budget.
The union was unaware of anything in relation to a salary review.
That is what causes adversarial relations between the government and the union.
In the House of Assembly yesterday, Prime Minister Philip Davis announced pay raises for public servants. Davis telling Parliament it's the second phase of his administration's comprehensive public service salary review. The first phase, that includes middle management and above, will receive increases at the end of this month. But for unionists, some things still remain unclear.
My nurses are asking me, does this include us? So I need to first know who are the middle managers.
The second phase will be implemented in September. Government budgeting $807 million for wages and salaries in the upcoming fiscal year, compared to $767.9 million last fiscal year. Health insurance coverage will also be expanded for all government workers. But Bahamas Public Services Union President Kimsley Ferguson raises this issue.
The comment of unions having a seat at the table, it's not accurate at all, because if a salary review can take place in this country and unions are not privy to how it's going to impact their membership, I don't call that a seat at the table.
And while unionists are on board with a salary increase, they say it doesn't cancel out the other industrial issues they may have.
We are still fighting to sign our agreement where they said that we will get health insurance, but we need to know some of the details. We can't sign an agreement blind.
We're still pushing for the completion of confirmations for teachers and other public servants. We're still pushing for ongoing professional development and training.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Thanks for that, Josh. Former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis is joining a growing list of public figures weighing in on political parties' participation in tomorrow's Sir Randall Fox Labor Day parade. In the House of Assembly on Wednesday morning, Prime Minister Philip Davis shrugged off criticism over the Progressive Liberal Party's decision to launch its re-election campaign on Labor Day. Davis insisted the PLP and the labor movement have been joined at the hip since the party's founding. But the head of the Trade Union Congress, Obi Ferguson, doesn't see it that way. The umbrella union has decided to not participate in the parade this year over political involvement. In the House of Assembly on Wednesday night, Dr. Minnis said when he was in opposition, an opposition leader nearly a decade ago, he met with Sir Randall's family, and they made it clear that he was not a fan of politicizing the event.
Myself, representing the Free National Movement, and a representative of the PLP. The Fox family asked us in meeting that Sir Randall's greatest wishes was that the march, the Labor Day march, belonged to the people, and they would not like to see any political participation. We agreed to that meeting. I represented the opposition. I don't know what the opposition is doing today. I can only speak from my experience. The PLP was in their yellow paraphernalia, agreed at the meeting, but then took a right turn at the march itself. But the agreement was that we would respect Sir Randall Fox's wishes.
Now turning to court, a Supreme Court jury has unanimously convicted a police constable of abusing his authority to solicit sex from a woman in 2023. Constable Shaquille Williamson faced a charge over procuration over the July 5th incident. Williamson has been remanded to prison to await sentencing. He returns to court on August 18th for the penalty phase of his trial. Williamson was in a patrol car alone when he met a woman and a man having sex in a car on Yamakar Beach. After ordering the couple to get dressed, Williamson ran name checks on both of them, which came back clear. But Williamson lied and told the woman that she had an outstanding warrant. That's when he allegedly told the woman she could avoid arrest if she had sex with him. The woman made a frantic call to the police control room while Williamson was talking to her boyfriend. Police units rushed to the scene and Williamson was disarmed and arrested. Well, National Security Minister Wayne Munro is pushing back against criticism from East Grand Bahama Member of Parliament Kwesi Thompson, who slammed the government's $30,000 allocation to the newly formed Independent Commission of Investigations. The commission was established in the wake of a U.S. federal indictment that implicated senior Bahamian law enforcement officers in a major drug smuggling operation. The Davis administration promoted the body as a key part of its anti-corruption agenda, but Thompson says the government's commitment is questionable, pointing to what he called paltry budget. Munro, whose ministry oversees national law enforcement agencies, says Thompson is misrepresenting how government funding works. He also pushed back on the suggestion that the small allocation undermines the commission's mission.
In terms of housing for the body, that doesn't come in the budget of the institution. The Ministry of the Public Service deals with all housing for government agencies, unless it's something like the police that is being purpose-built for them. But if we intend to rent accommodation for them, that wouldn't be in their budget. That would be in the budget of the Ministry of the Public Service. Kwesi Thompson knows this. He dealt with the budget. He was in the Ministry of Finance. He would know that the utility bills are also paid by the Ministry of Finance.
Grand Bahamas still bears the scars of past storms, Hurricane Dorian chief among them. And while the rebuilding work continues, our news anchor Candino Knowles tells us the Grand Bahama Port Authority is urging homeowners and businesses to learn from history. In tonight's City in Focus.
We've had many hardships in Grand Bahama, and so there's lessons learned there.
For many on Grand Bahama, Hurricane Dorian isn't just a date on the calendar. It's a reminder that preparation can save lives and livelihoods. We spoke with GBPA Vice President of Building and Development Services, Nikira Wilchcomb, about what's changed since 2019 and what everyone needs to consider this hurricane season.
Many times when we've faced natural disasters in particular, those have escalated the issue that we have now with some of the dilapidated buildings. Unfortunately, many of the owners, whether they would have received insurance or what have you, have not reinvested in the buildings. And so we're left with it in the state that they're in.
And with forecasters predicting a hyperactive season, she stresses that having insurance and a plan for using it is crucial. In the past 5 years, Wilchcomb says more than 30 hurricane-damaged or dilapidated buildings have been demolished by GBPA to maintain the city's standard of living.
As a building department, we've looked at ways where we can improve the construction industry and doing things a little differently than we have done in the past and making recommendations to builders, homeowners.
From tougher building codes to updated mitigation efforts, Wilchcomb says GBPA using lessons learned as a blueprint for future storms.
Well, there are models that we could certainly put to bear, whereby we can take situations and scenarios that we've dealt with over the past years. We've done some things right, and we know that next time in tackling an issue, we have to make some changes. And so those best practices, those lessons learned are being recorded for us to learn from so that we do not make the same mistakes.
But even if your home or business survived Dorian, she says simple upgrades like reinforced roof straps, impact-resistant windows, and clear drainage can make all the difference. As for those lessons learned, Wilchcomb says GBPA is ready to help other communities.
We've not always done everything right, and so we have a team that's willing to share those experiences with others in other family islands, that we can give them our experiences, give them the strategies that we've used to come out of various situations.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Candino Knowles.
All right, thanks so much for that, Candino. Well, cloudy skies for the most part of the day, but warm temperatures on this Thursday. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and welcome back, everybody, for a quick check on conditions outside our studios and around the islands. 84 degrees is our current temperature under partly cloudy skies, and it is a bit on the hazy side out there. East winds, 50 miles per hour, but that's not shaving anything off the temperature. It still feels like a very warm 86 degrees on the outdoors. Satellite radar composite, trailing moisture from that upper level disturbance, still plaguing the northwest Bahamas and Florida. Most of that activity will pull towards the north and away from us. High pressure at the surface and aloft, and some Saharan dust still moving across our area, and that will continue to invade the northwest Bahamas, moving slightly towards the west. We're looking for some hot and hazy conditions for the weekend. We'll tell you all about that later on in our newscast. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. An extended forecast look still to come.
Still to come on our news, burnout, mentorship, and the future of nursing. Hear what came out of the first nurses panel in 5 years straight ahead. Also, a proud moment for 35 young Defense Force Rangers in Freeport, graduating in front of family and friends. That's all coming up when our news returns.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that running nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set up all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set up all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Cetamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit...
At Struckham, we're all about peace of mind. With the latest tools and technology like PestPack, managing pest control just got easier. It's simple. Log on to the portal to review past services or monitor trends. Just tap Service Reports to access detailed records and see how we're keeping your business pest-free. You can even customize permissions, so your teams in maintenance and health and safety have real-time access to everything they need. With PestPack, you're in control, anytime, anywhere. Get ready to simplify pest management with just a few taps.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
When Team Bahamas took on the region at the 2025 Carifta Aquatics and Athletics Championships in Trinidad and Tobago, we were there. When the country's stars of tomorrow announced their arrival to the world. When champions rose, records fell, and history was made, we were there. Cable Bahamas, RTV, experience more.
The Grand Bahama branch of the Nursing Association, in partnership with the Nurses Month Committee, recently hosted a panel discussion under the theme Caring for Nurses, Shaping the Future. The event, the first of its kind in 5 years by the organization, brought together nursing professionals for an open conversation about the realities of the field, from staff shortages and pivoting to the power of mentorship and the future of nursing. The discussion took place at the Oleander Room at the Freeport Harbor and featured several panelists, including Sherilyn Bain, Ashley Pinder, and Rashad Curry, all sharing personal experiences, challenges, and solutions.
You have to be able to pivot to
maneuver in your environment, to be able to handle what is going to come, because you find if there were adequate staffing, for example, you would have several nurses that are there to coach you through, to help you, give you instructions, whereas if you don't have that, you kind of hear it once, you ask your questions, they can help, but because everybody is just as busy as you are, you have to be able to listen, adapt, critically think.
We saw the need for preceptorship, mentorship, guiding them through, because they're coming in at a bachelor's level as opposed to maybe 10 years ago. The entry level for nursing was at the associate level. So we have made tremendous strides.
This is one of the ways that we can find out how nurses feel, discuss the way forward, ideas, and events like this, and I'm sure that we'll be having more events.
Chair of the Grand Bahama Branch, Kenesha Munning, says the goal is to make this an annual event on the nursing calendar.
We thought that it would be fitting to join together all healthcare workers across the island of Grand Bahama so that we can share various experiences, network, and then we can learn from each other, all in the hopes of building and achieving a better healthcare system overall for a healthier society and then a healthier nation.
All right, excellent. Well, a proud moment for the youth arm of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. This as 35 Rangers officially graduated during a recent ceremony held outside the C.A. Smith Complex in Freeport. The RBDF Rangers program, which has participants from 25 schools across the Family Islands, 26 rather, is open to both male and female students and is designed to shape disciplined, community-minded young leaders. Family, friends, and representatives from law enforcement turned out to support the new graduates during the ceremony. Deputy Commander Captain Colin Bethel praised the success of the Grand Bahama program and left this message for the young cadets.
To the graduating Rangers, stand tall today. You are not just finishing a program, you are stepping forward as role models, as change agents, and as the next generation of leaders in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Thank you for your service.
Also expressing her pride was Grand Bahama Minister Ginger Moxie.
Today, we celebrate your achievements, your growth on this journey of yours as the next generation of young leaders and nation builders in the Bahamas. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force Rangers program has a rich legacy, transforming lives since 1995 by empowering cadets through leadership training, military discipline, and a variety of civic, community, cultural, spiritual, and sporting activities.
Coming up in sports, Team Bahamas loses big on the road in Grenada, a busy weekend ahead for the BBA Senior Nationals, and a special Thursday edition of Top Plays.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cell.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. The senior men's national team was back on the pitch in the latest round of the FIFA World Cup 2026 qualifiers. Grenada overwhelmed the Bahamas 6-0 in the CONCACAF's second round of qualifiers last night at the Karani James National Stadium in St. George's, Grenada. The home side dominated time of possession at 74% and registered 13 shots on goal compared to just 2 for the Bahamas. Grenada picked up their first win of the qualifiers, elevating them to 4th, while at 0-3, the Bahamas continues to seek their first points in the campaign. It's a quick turnaround for Team Bahamas. They head to Barbados for a matchup against group leader Costa Rica on June 7th at the Barbados Football Association Technical Center in Bridgetown.
The Bahamas Baseball Association is preparing to host the first phase in the annual celebration of the sport and a local legend. The Andre Rogers Senior National Championships will be hosted June 6th to 9th in honor of Fred Papa Smith. The event will feature 4 teams in the 23 and under and 6 teams in the 16 and under divisions vying for the national title at the Blue Hills Complex and the National Stadium. The under 23 teams will play 3 group games and the under 16 teams will play 5 in the round robin format. Medal games in both divisions will be played on Sunday. The Community Baseball League are the defending champions in the under 23, and the Junior Baseball League of Nassau are the under 16 defending champions. Other participating leagues include the Freedom Farm Baseball League, Ed and Bristol Baseball League, Grand Bahama Little League, Legacy Baseball League, and the Abaco Youth Baseball League. Smith is a revered figure in Bahamian baseball, celebrated for his significant contributions as a player, coach, and mentor. In 1968, he signed with the Cleveland Guardians organization, reaching as high as AAA.
We love our audience so much, we made the sacrifice to bring you top plays a day earlier because, we know how holidays can get. At 5, stop us if you've heard this before. Anthea Charlton steps on the track, sets a new Gator record and a new PR, 11.01 seconds. Can't wait to see what she does in Eugene next week.
At number 4, Franco Miller Jr. is headed for promotion in Spain. He should get there for this move alone.
At 3, we're always showing you big hits from Sebas Walcott, but defensively, the Jeter jump throw is in the bag too. You do know someday he's going to be a $700 million player, right?
At number 2, the first Bahamian Don't Blink Home Run Derby winner. BJ Murray has the play every kid dreams of in their backyard, a game-winning grand slam.
And normally that would have been number 1, but Jazz had another play every kid dreams of, a home run in their first game back after being sidelined for like a month. Gotta love the short porch in right field, and gotta love trolling people that complain about the short porch in right field. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. I feel like anytime we do one of these Thursdays and new Friday things, we should swap an entertainment assignment with Denny.
Okay, so the next long weekend, we do the swap.
Lotto? Back to the studio.
Still ahead on Our News Tonight, Caribbean Heritage Month kicks off and our Danielle Miller wraps up her series on regional talent. At the best of the best, the story when Our News continues. Stay with us.
Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
When Team Bahamas took on the region at the 2025 Carifta Aquatics and Athletics Championships in Trinidad and Tobago, we were there. When the country's stars of tomorrow announced their arrival to the world. When champions rose, records fell, and history was made, we were there. Cable Bahamas, RTV, experience more.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and time allocated to do them.
This is Our News. Welcome back. That upper level disturbance well to the north of us, still pulling some trailing moisture across the northwest Bahamas. Most of that activity will continue to wane as the evening goes on. We expect most of this activity to pull out towards the north and east and away from us. National Hurricane Center still giving a bit of a, very slight chance for development of the system to the north, but it's very close to landmass, so it's not expected to organize at this time. The tropics, quiet right now. We are taking a look at the central and eastern Atlantic. Nothing much happening out there. Very weak tropical wave, all embedded in some Saharan dust, and that Saharan dust will continue to move towards the west. The Caribbean Sea also quiet there. Some showers and thunderstorms near Panama and Costa Rica and into the Gulf of Mexico. All is quiet there. And then, of course, the wider look. Trailing front attached to that low pressure system, as I mentioned, will pull everything away from us. Saharan dust, hot temperatures, dry air mass will be with us for the weekend. So if you plan on being on the outdoors, make sure you wear some brims and stay hydrated. Taking a look at our future forecast, most of the moisture, as I mentioned, well to the north of us, that will continue to stay there. That building high pressure crosses will keep everything at bay. Of course, dry conditions will stay with us, so those rainfall amounts that we've been having the last couple of days, not going to see much in terms of any rainfall through the weekend. Boating forecast, northwest Bahamas, east to southeast winds. They will fall light and variable, but occasionally at 10 knots, seas running 2 to 3 feet. Low tide is at 11:11 tonight. High tide takes place at 4:59 tomorrow morning. In the central and southeastern islands, east to southeast flow at 10 to 15 knots, slightly breezier across the southeast Bahamas. Seas running 2 to 4 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, we'll keep some more clouds in the forecast through Friday, but that Saharan dust and that dry air mass will be with us. As I mentioned, if you plan on being on the outdoors, make sure you take the necessary precaution. But we will be back to those 90-degree temperatures for the balance of the weekend and into next week. Feels like temperatures will be in the triple digits. Stay safe, everybody. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Well, June is recognized as Caribbean Heritage Month. It's a time to celebrate the achievements of those who've made their marks across the region. In recent weeks, our Daniel Miller has spoken to several regional artists that have made a global impact. It's a part of her Best of the Best Music Fest coverage. Tonight, she concludes the series with a full recap of the event she says has proven to be one of the most enriching concerts that she's attended. Let's take a look.
Where should everybody be on May 25th?
Miami-Dade County, Miami, Florida, Best of the Best.
We spent the last weekend in May at the highly anticipated 19th annual Best of the Best Music Fest in Miami. A reported 20,000 attendees took over Bayfront Park, waving their flags in a spectacular display of Caribbean culture. As we entered the venue, we were hypnotized by the aroma of rich jerk seasoning, fried fish, and conch salad. The vibes were set early as the opening acts charged the crowd, fueling the energy for a cultural explosion. The impressive lineup of headline artists ascended from rising stars to legendary icons. From Jamari Morgan with a surprise performance from his dad, Gramps Morgan, Nadine Sutherland gave us that action. Chronic Law, we electric slide with Marcia Griffiths, Romaine Virgo, Wayne Wonder, Skinny Fabulous, Barris Hammond, and to end an epic night, a performance by Gargamel, better known as Buju Banton. The Best of the Best Music Fest revived my love for our regional heritage, confirming that being from the Caribbean is a badge of honor, and there's nothing sweeter.
Best of the best in Bahamas. You already know how much I love you.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, I enjoyed that. Thanks for that, Danny. Of course, to see that story again is available now at ournews.bs. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
Thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.